Workers had to be careful never to step too close. But when you spend hours in the same place every day, the danger can start to feel normal. That morning, Perez was assigned to one of the larger presses. It was running as usual, its heavy rollers spinning nonstop. At some point during the shift, he moved too near. In an instant, the rollers caught him. The steady rhythm of the press broke suddenly. Workers nearby heard the difference. The machine made a grinding sound, and then they heard shouting. Perez had been pulled inside. Co-workers rushed forward. They hit the emergency stop, but the machine did not release him. His body was trapped deep between the rollers. The press, designed only for cardboard, had gripped him with a force no person could survive. Firefighters arrived quickly. Crews began the slow process of dismantling the machine. Piece by piece, they removed heavy metal parts. The work lasted for nearly an hour as they tried to reach him without causing further harm. The factory floor was silent, except for the sound of tools striking steel. Workers stood back, watching in shock, unable to believe what they were seeing. When Perez was finally pulled free, it was too late. The rollers had crushed him. The coroner pronounced him dead at the scene. The Iron Pot Incident. On June 2, 2022, 39-year-old Stephen Dierks came to work at Caterpillar's foundry in Mapleton, Illinois. He had only been at the job for 9 days. The plant made cast iron engine parts. On the melt floor stood giant open pots filled with molten iron, each one holding thousands of pounds of metal, heated to more than 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat from the floor hit workers in the face as soon as they stepped onto the platform. That morning, Dierks walked up to the edge of one of the pots. There were no guardrails to stop someone from falling. The pot 7 feet deep, glowing with liquid iron that moved like water but burned hotter than lava. At some point during the task, Dierks slipped. One step, he was gone. He fell straight into the pot. There was no time to grasp. His coworkers saw him fall, but the heat from the pot was so strong they could not. Survival was impossible even for a second. Later reports said he was immediately incinerated. Work on the floor stopped at once. First responders arrived within minutes, but there was nothing to rescue and no body to recover. The pot had to be left to cool down, with workers keep their distance. In the following days, federal safety officials inspected the site. They wrote that the company had failed to protect workers from fall hazards near the molten iron pots. Caterpillar had failed to protect workers from fall hazards near the molten iron pots. Caterpillar was fined $145,027. Stephen Dierks left behind $145,027. Stephen Dierks left behind 3 children. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for similar ones. Feel free to drop